Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey,
I'm Carol.
and we are my
Outlander.
Purgatory.com.
Okay, all I have to say is in this episode, I've never been so happy to be called my Outlander Purgatory.
Oh my God.
And I'll tell you right now, I should have looked at it today, but I remember posting, Lord knows, 6 years ago when I read it, I remember posting, Lord help us, it's going to be 7. I remember posting when I got to that part and he said purgatory. And I said, oh, purgatory.
I know. So yeah, we have watched the last episode of season 2, the season finale, and we got shit to say, y'all. But
Oh,
first,
Lord.
all right, the first thing I'm going to say is that it is 98,000 damn degrees in New Jersey right now. It is a Thursday evening. I'm in North Jersey. The studio in my house has no air conditioning. So I'm spritzing already, you guys.
Why aren't you in a...
help me if I have a hot flash during this recap, because it's just not going to be good.
Jesus, be a raindrop or central air.
Okay, why aren't you in a room with air conditioning?
Because we haven't put them all in yet. Because it really hasn't been hot up to this
It has
point.
not been hot.
It's very
lovely.
temperate summer, you guys.
Yes, and I live at the shore, so it's even cooler where I am.
And
It's
it was
lovely.
like literally like, Sunday night we were like, or Monday, because it was 4th of July. We were like, oh shit, it's going to be like 98 degrees this week. Better get the air conditioners in. And I live in an old house, so we don't have central air. My husband would love to have it, but it would cost like $20,000 to install. So I'm like, suck it up.
Worth every dime. Tracey, how we were raised in the same household is absolutely beyond me. It's like air, food, and central.
Well, I should do it. It would be worth it because my husband is so grouchy during the summer because he does not like the heat. And the minute it gets hot, he's just like, forget it. He's just going up to the bedroom and he's just like standing there. So we have an air conditioner in the bedroom, we have an air conditioner in the gym room, and we have an air conditioner in the TV room. But in the office, we've not put it in yet. And in the downstairs, the first floor, we have like window units everywhere.
You're so dad. Do you take the box fan and shove it going out
I
the door?
do remember that. We would be like, Dad, can't we turn the air conditioning on yet? No, I have to service it.
You guys, it was like 2 a.m., okay? All summer, he'd have no air conditioning, and we had central air, like in the 70s. And my dad would come in at first of all, he would set everybody's room up so they had a box fan that was facing out. It had to face out.
Out of the window.
Yeah,
out of the window.
It will. No. Out of the window.
I do that in this house, too. I do have window fans all over the place.
Hang on. Out of the window. Or then he got this idea that it had to go out the bedroom door and it'll pull the cool air in. And Lord knows 2 a.m. he would show up in our room, scare the bejesus out of you because you finally got to sleep, and be like, I'm going to turn the air on. So that's why I can't believe you.
No. All right. But anyway, we're 5 minutes in and we haven't even talked about what we're drinking, and we're going to be talking here. You guys just settle back. I hope you have beverages and lots of them because this is going to take a long time. Fair warning.
Tracey.
You might want to take a break, take a bathroom break every once in a while, whatever.
Why don't we just cut it into a bunch of videos? It's not like anything else is going to be going on.
It's like, well, why don't you just cut this episode into 2 episodes? People would revolt. Okay. Carol, what are you drinking this fine 98-degree evening?
I think they'd like that we had something coming up next week. What do you think?
Maybe we will.
Remember, I was thinking about, do I drink a little really good scotch? Do I get myself some Santa Margarita? But then Tracey goes ahead and texts me this hilarious shot of a massive full pallet of Cabot.
It was on sale at the King's, you guys.
On sale. And she texts it to me for anybody who didn't see my post on the blog. And she just says, I think this is probably otherwise something like AKA the Outlander episode 213 sale. Because it was like $9.99 or something.
There were 100 bottles of Cabot there, you guys.
Although I had to laugh because I was like, how obvious this is a Short Hills store because it's still more expensive than mine.
Wait, so are you drinking Cabot after
this time? I'm drinking Cabot.
You know what? It's comfort wine, Carol, and we all need comfort wine tonight, which is why I'm drinking one of my favorites, Clos du Bois, Clearly, I have the corkscrew in it because it is 100 damn degrees in here, and I need to keep it cold. And I'm not even sure it's doing. In fact, is the corkscrew already like thawed? No, it's not. That's good. So yes, not only do I have the wine with the corkscrew in it, but I have the little frozen cubes in my glass because like that is, and like the sweat is coming off of this of the bottom and like messing up the desk here. It's crazy. It's really crazy hot. But I like the Clos de Bois. It's a comfort wine, and God knows we need comfort wine tonight, you guys, because it's Outlander. It started.
We need some comfort.
We need some comfort. So we are ready to rock and roll. Episode 213, Dragonfly and Amber, the finale of season 2. Carol, overall, do you have any thoughts? Like, were you happy with it overall? You want to give it a number on a scale of 1 to 5? Do you not want to do that yet?
That's like really tough. I have to say that one main comment that I have that going into it, first of all, I loved it. And during the episode, like more than once, I thought, this is the greatest 90 minutes of TV I've ever seen in my life. Which was funny because I believe I just said that a week ago about the turn finale. But it really was. So I have to say just overall, we don't need to say this at any certain time. I loved, and I don't always love this, I loved the back and forth between time periods. Just loved it.
I want to talk about that because I think that was, I thought it was a very good finale. I was very happy with it. I thought they did a really good job with what I have realized over the course of this season has been a really tough book to adapt.
Oh, Lord help us, yes.
Yes. I thought that there were a couple of things I preferred in the book, but a lot of things that I was like, that's an improvement on the book. That's an improvement on the structure of the book. That works really well. The Gila stuff, for example, tons better in the show, I think, than in the book. I think it worked really, really well in terms of how they introduced her and wove her through the episode. The ping-ponging, we can talk about that a little bit. I thought maybe it was... I would have strung together a couple of things, maybe not chopped it up quite as much, but overall... But we can, we'll get to that.
We'll get into that. There were a few things, yes, that bothered me. and you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, please, like, just if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Because I am going to say if I didn't care for something or if I wished something was different. I am sorry, but in my opinion, no one needs their ass kissed 24/7. It does not help someone's creativity whatsoever. So if I didn't care for something, I'm going to say it, whatever.
But I think everybody's been very respectful, and, I think that they appreciate that we do state our opinion. We're not ass kissers.
Right.
We're not kneecap suckers, as they say on Rob Has Podcast, which is one of my favorite podcasts. We tell it like it is, but we do it respectfully.
Right. Always respectfully.
We ask the same of everybody who, follows us or comments or whatever.
Right.
If that's not done, we delete, and, yell at you to each other. So there you go.
Well, on the blog, I really don't do a lot of deleting. The only time I've deleted something is if somebody is so horrific that I can't even...
We don't take personal attacks, you guys.
Or the bottom line is I will delete if like something's done anyway. We don't need to leave it up. There's no reason because it's in the past.
Right.
And if somebody, whatever. But what I was going to say was, guys, just the bottom line is please bear with me. I am not, like I said, this would be very boring if Tracey and I sat here for this entire time going, this was great, this was great, this was great. Everything, I just told you that I thought it was the greatest 90 minutes of TV of my life. So there are going to be a few things that I wished. There was one main thing, I'm certainly not mad or complaining about anything, but there was one thing that it's sitting with me that kind of I wished something or other. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay. Here we go. So, Dragonfly and Amber. The writers are Matt Roberts and Tony Graffia. A fine job. I've been told that slow golf clap is, I shouldn't say it because it's negative. I would like to take back slow golf clap and make it positive. But
Where
whatever.
did golf come into it? I feel
It's like slow golf clap is like, the polite applause like that. But like several people have said like that's like a euphemism for like it sucked.
yeah, like,
well, okay, but maybe opera clap? I don't know, but
but
whatever.
I don't know why golf, because golf used to be like that. It's not anymore. Now it's just in the hole. So annoying.
All right. Anyway, like kudos to them because, like I said, they took a part of the text that's incredibly tough structurally to make any sort of like interesting or engaging storyline, and I thought they did a brilliant job with it.
They did a brilliant job.
Really good.
Yes.
Okay.
And whoever did Claire's hair did a brilliant job too.
Most of the time.
except for the Cruella stripe.
I sort of like the Cruella stripe. That's like the token old gray hair thing.
And she did need to be a little gray because we need.
You guys, she's totally 45 because she's got the gray. Okay.
Yes, but Beecham, your ass is still great. Remember that part? Or is that in Voyager?
Okay. The director is Philip John, who has directed all sorts of crap in this season. He's the war guy, and this was actually a stretch for him because there was really no war stuff in it. So, well done.
Not a lot of war.
We need to talk. Ron Moore, you and I need to talk here. Are you listening? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. We need to figure out a way that the credits do not spoil the episode.
Oh, shit. I didn't see that, but I felt bad for you when I saw that you did. Because Tracey, the fact of me not seeing that was the gift to me after I had to see the horrific spoiler last week.
Oh, what was the spoiler that you saw now that we've seen the show?
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I'm jumping, girl. I'm jumping to the end of the episode.
All right.
His friggin' hands on hers on the stone. What asshole does that? I'm sorry.
If you guys...
I'm sorry because now I'm not being nice. But come on, guys. You can't.
All right. Little backstory for those of you who are not familiar with this. Evidently, like somewhere in Norway, like they showed it, early. And, it was or online, and it was pulled like 4 hours later, but enough people got a hold of it that there were spoilers over the weekend. Spoilers abounded. And Carol happened to stumble upon a GIF/GIF. I still don't know what the hell it is.
It's either or. I like GIF. Older people say GIF.
Because you can say the GIF that keeps on giving.
Yes, my kids say GIF because apparently older people say GIF. I say GIF.
Whatever. But Carol ran into this GIF, and I was just like, that's it, done. No internet for the next 72 hours. Not happening.
Tracy, and think about it. It was totally different from the book. I was devastated that I saw that.
I know. But anyway, Ron, I'm sorry we got on a little rant there, a little tangent, but like it's you and me right now. We need to figure this out.
Oh, and Carol. I'm here.
Okay, and Carol, because you this has happened before. And here's the other thing. A lot of people were spoiled about the Gillis thing because Lottie tweeted something.
Oh,
yeah,
girl.
Yeah. But it's,
Could Lottie, I say girl?
Lottie. Now, Ron, move aside because now, Lottie, I'm talking to you because we love you, first of all. We love you so much.
Where's Pocket Jamie?
And, sweetie, it happens to everyone. Everyone has made the tweet that they don't want to do. It happens to everyone. It's all good. No worries. Okay. All right. Anyway, but so if you weren't familiar with that, if you didn't know if you hadn't read the book and you didn't see a tweet from Lottie, the appearance of Gillis should have been a real surprise to you, except for the fact that there's Lottie Verbeek's name in the credits, and so Ron, bro, come on, we have got to fix this. Whether it's just like a cold open and you get no credits until the very end. Spielberg does it. Come on. Like, seriously. And that happened again. It happened, who else was on, like, surprise-wise, and we just knew he was going to be on? I don't even remember. But,
here's the deal, though, Tracy. That's their people. Their people, like, fight for that stuff. So I'm going to say right now that doesn't Ron have power? Probably.
Ron has the power to say like all the credits at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess, it's a season finale. And their credits are a little weird in that like people who aren't if you're not on the episode, you're not in the opening credits, even if you're considered a regular. So I would say Tobias is considered a regular of the show, a series regular, but he's not in the credits if he doesn't appear. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Lottie should have been billed as a special guest star, should not have appeared in the opening credits. Sorry, but there you go. Because I'm sure it spoiled a lot of people.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
Next season, take that into account. There are going to be instances where you're going to have to heed my advice. I will just say that. I hope you're listening.
Yes,
okay,
but I'm telling you right now that whole beginning of the show, end of the show, it's all negotiated. So they need to put their foot down and say, we are doing, what they need to do is put nobody's name in the beginning then, if that's the deal.
Again, I love Lottie Verbeek, but if you're telling me that Lottie Verbeek
I don't think she
are
cares.
all over Ron Moore's people, like, no, I'm sorry, she needs to be in the opening credits. That's not, no. Ron Moore's people would be like.
Okay, again, I'm telling you right now, they negotiate their name.
I'm sure they do.
Possibly not in TV. I'm familiar with film. I'm not familiar with TV. So I'm telling you, I don't know. But I just think they should say, then you know what? We're not going to do anybody's. And it should just be, the bottom line is life is changing. Film, TV, it's changing. Spoilers. With the internet, everything's real time, guys. We don't want spoilers.
Right. All I know is having her name in the opening credits
and I didn't
spoiled
see it.
For a lot of people.
I didn't see it. Let me tell you something. Was anyone else like me? I was a sensory nightmare. I was so freaking out of my head about this episode that I was getting up, I was getting down, I was going on there. I had to close my computer because it was too bright. It was like flashing or something. I had to get up. I had to wash my hands at one point. I was a complete. I should have been drinking last night. I was a complete nightmare. It took me a good half hour to calm the hell down and just watch.
I know because my story of watching it is that, and again, we get the screener, so we watched early. I was at my friend's house last night who just moved, and he had fireworks in his town last night. So I didn't get home till 10:30. So I started watching this at 10:45.
And she texts me and says, okay, I'm watching. Well, you guys, I'm 2/3 of the way through. I've already amassed a massive pile of tissues. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think I took a picture. Did I take a picture?
I know. I'm sure I can put it up.
And I couldn't even speak. I was like, oh. Okay. All right, let's go.
All right, we got to move along. All right, so our Easter egg is really not an Easter egg. It's kind of the opening. It looks like an Easter egg. It's the opening shot. Did you know what it was from?
They're fencing. I really paid. I told you, this was during my sensory speak.
Yeah, and I think I'm just probably a little more into that old TV movie dealing than you are. It's from the Avengers. I think.
Oh, right. Because there's what's her name? Yes.
Oh, do you know? Oh, you know who that was? That's what I was going to ask you if you know who that was.
No, because I was too obsessed. I was obsessing over who are all these kids with Roger.
I know. Well, they're relegated to the TV room,
That would have been us. That would have been.
No, it totally would have been us.
Loved it.
But do you know who the woman is?
No, I don't know who it is.
It's Lady Olenna from Game of Thrones. It's Diana Rigg. Swear to God.
Oh, you could smell the shit from 5 miles away.
Many years ago. Isn't that cool?
Oh my God. I'm watching it right now.
But it's from the Avengers. So that's why I'm thinking to myself, is that meaningful? Is it just kind of a cool show that is on then? Avengers. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Now, and she's the aggressor with the very.
Well, I don't even remember what it was about, but and I didn't really. I mean, I'm not old enough to have watched it, but
I was way too taken with Roger, just his stance, his wide leg.
Okay. Yeah, so Roger, there's Roger. And so initial thoughts of Roger. I was like, please don't let there be patches on the elbows of his tweed professory jacket, because that would just be too gross and bad. That would be just too I'm a professor at Oxford and didn't you notice?
We are getting right back to Brandy on the veranda. I love Roger. Let me tell you something. I love Roger in the books. I love Roger on the show. Show Roger and my book Roger are like, show Roger is like, looks wise, the antithesis of book Roger.
Yes, agreed.
But I didn't care because I just love him anyway.
My love for Roger. All right, this is all right. Well, spoiler alert for me.
Spoiler alert
for the Tracey spoiler inside my head. I love Roger, but I didn't start out loving him. It was a slow burn.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And I've captured all of the various moments of like love realization in my notes.
Oh, I just love him.
So
he really is Roger. He just doesn't look like my Roger, but that's okay.
But at that first glance, I was like, that beard is just not good.
Did Roger have a beard in the beginning?
No. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't remember reading like, Roger's whiskers, were bristly against Brianna's, whatever.
Don't get me started.
So Roger just kind of looks like he's in a little trancey thing. He's kind of like sitting in the kids, like at
his stance
at the figurative kids t-ball, and he's just like whatever.
His legs are like spread, and he's totally still.
Right.
He's like a Cullen at this point.
Right,
he's totally still. Right.
Then we have the appearance of Fiona, and all I have to say is, psych ward.
She's perfect.
Fiona is so like, and I know we've made mention of that movie with Bridget Fonda and what's her name, the
Single White Female.
Yeah. She's so the Jennifer Jason Leigh girl at the start of that movie.
Oh my God.
Where she's like mousy girl, but like, hi, I'm Jenna. I love you.
Are you sure you're okay?
You almost did your Jan Brady. Yeah.
Oh my God. Creep, stalker.
She's like, hi, I love you, but I'll kill you.
Oh my God. It was so creepy. So
tea or death?
So she's like, it's time to, do something. And then you realize it's the Reverend Wakefield's funeral.
So sad.
It was very sad. But I will say this. This is the first instance that I was like, way smart, like, change from the book. This is not in the book. Claire and Brianna do not arrive to Wakefield Manor because of his death. They just sort of show up.
Yeah.
And it was a good piece of storytelling, I thought.
Did they ever explain in this episode? It's funny. Now I'm going, wait. Like, that they were there on vacation? Like
they were staying with relatives in London. And I guess they heard that Wakefield died, so... See, I mean, that's something that I just wondered throughout the whole thing, is like, how much of this is Claire being like, reading the London Times and being like, oh, Professor Wakefield, I used to know him, let's go there. And how much of it is like, oh, Bree, let's go visit, your relatives in London. But really, we're going to Scotland.
Well, that's how it was.
That's how it goes in the book. And I kind of think that that's like, I think you dig down a little bit in Claire's mind, and that was her intent. And you get to that later when Bree's like, is that why we're here? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, in the book,
no, it's not at all.
In the book, she's like, oh, Daddy's dead. Let's go to Scotland.
So, all right. So I thought that was really cool. Then, Roger's making a little speech about Reverend Wakefield, and then we see Claire. 1968 Claire. What do we think of 1968 Claire?
Love
it.
All I have to say is, these boots are made for walking. And that's just what they'll do.
Phyllis really had this kind of boots, I thought.
Not the boots. I just mean her hair and her whole.
No, it's very Jackie O.
60s vibe. Loved it. Yes, I don't think I've ever loved Claire more than in this episode.
It's a very good 60s vibe. I liked the hair. She's very Jackie O. At times, very Barbra Streisand. Like it
In the
wasn't
way
all
we
the time.
were.
Yes.
Right.
It wasn't all the time.
Or mom in that picture of mom and dad when dad's in the tux and they're going from. I'll get you a copy of that.
I know, we can show it. Do you think that Claire looked her age?
Not only did Claire look her age, I think possibly there's part of me that's so much more warming up to Claire because now her age sort of catches up with her attitude, if that makes any sense. She just seems so much more. She just seems the right age. I can't explain it.
All right. Now, I mean, she looks very good for her age, although she does in the books too. You know, well, I'm not going to spoil anything in the books about how old she gets.
Come on now, Beecham.
But she's always looked very good for her age in the books. So I liked her coat, you know, everything was like it was very good. It was very like Jackie O. I think she was really trying to channel that. Then all of a sudden, Roger's like, you know, you sort of see Roger spot this like winsome girl in the corner. And all thoughts of his dead father are out the window.
Yeah.
Because he's just spotted a hottie.
Yeah. Do you mean the winsome girl who's just like wandering around the manse, checking everything out, paying zero attention to the fact that it's a repast, and just like wandering around going, yeah.
No, I just thought it was hilarious because Roger's like all like, thank you all for coming. And, you know, my father was a very important, what? What up?
And I'm so appreciative. Whoa. No. Loved Roger's accent.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, right off the bat. Yeah.
He has a fantastic accent.
He has a really good accent. So he spots Bree. So Bree. Then we meet Bree. Bree. Thoughts?
Plenty. Thoughts aplenty.
I think that Bree the character was bratty and annoying, which is pretty on par for the book.
Bree, she got her bratty and annoyingness across in a very good way. I accepted. I read her bratty and annoying immediately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So well done, Sophie Skelton. And I should say, we've been saying Roger about like Richard Rankin.
He's fantastic. Although, you could just pick him up and put him down in Game of Thrones and he'd be just
Oh my God, has he been in Game of Thrones? Because
probably. They all have.
So it either that or Harry Potter. It's like, if you're Harry Potter, go to the left. If you're Game of Thrones, go to the right.
If you've got a British or Irish accent, you've been in Harry Potter or Game of Thrones.
If you're Downton, straight ahead. Okay. So Bree's like, are you Roger McCarthy? Are you Roger Wakefield? And he's like, why, yes, I am.
Oh my God. I have Bree. Could Bree be any more flip? Roger's dad just died. That's part of my note.
This is why his dad just died. So Claire comes over and she's like, oh, yeah, I remember you. They talk. Then we hear about Claire's late husband, Frank.
Oh, and Claire introduced herself, and that was my first cry. My first tearing up and like my ugly cry face. The first one was when Claire introduced and said like, oh, we met when you were little, whatever, Claire Randall. And I heard Randall and I lost it. And I thought, I don't know that I ever felt this way during the book, or if it's just hitting me now that poor woman had to go back to using Black Jack's last name.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Never thought of it. Yes, until last night. And I don't think I thought of it. I'll have to read the blog. And I was like, can you imagine going back to saying Randall after what that freak did?
Ooh.
So that started the first waterworks.
Oh, wow. All right. I get it. Okay, so they make some small talk, whatever. Then Fiona comes over. And this is possibly like one of the best moments of the episode because Fiona gives Bree the stink eye.
But it's like the very nice psycho stink eye.
But
it wasn't mean stink eye. It was just like.
I'm surprised that later on in the episode, when Claire went to like the like Hall of Records, and she was like, "Do you do genealogy too? Can you do like Rogers? Oh, and can you do this woman Fiona? Can you see where she stands in the whole theory like line of succession? Can you throw that on the pile too? Because Fiona was so hilarious. All of that like stink eye to Bree was so like I was laughing out loud at that. It was so I don't even know who that actress is. She should be at the front of the credits. She should now Ron Moore put her at the top of the credits.
I'd be giving Bree the stink. I'd be giving Bree the stink eye too.
So funny.
Or Fiona.
All right. So okay, Fiona looking at Bree. Okay. So Roger's like, oh, so everyone's leaving, and Claire and Bree are like, yeah, we're leaving. And Roger's like, no, stay, hottie. I mean, Bree.
I know. Okay, wait. How about when, and like Claire's like, no, we couldn't impose. And he's all like, oh yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, it was almost like I froze them. And I'm thinking, would I do that? Like, it's his dad's repass.
That's a little bit creepy. And I've never really met him before. Although, I mean, Claire stayed there before, but.
Oh, how about when he goes top of the stairs to the left? She's like, I remember
been
top of
there,
stairs.
slept in that, yo.
Creepy.
Been there, had an all-nighter with Frank, my husband, in that. So.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. This entire episode, and it was just like the book, Tracey, it was just like when I called you and cried for an hour. Before Tom and I sat down to watch the episode, I said, I'm going to tell you right now, I cried to Tracey for an hour after this book was over. I seriously have to tell you that they really got me with a lot of the Claire stuff like that, like the remembering, the memories that I remember it's the top of the. I've been like that in my life where like it's 20 years later and you're still remembering something from somebody who died and they brought it all out.
I didn't even do the whole where she's like wandering around the mantle and she's like looking at stuff and she touches the gun and she starts hearing like the voices of the remembrance or whatever.
That was so beautifully done. Kudos to whoever.
Yeah. No, the writing of this episode, really good.
It's not just the writing though. I mean, it's the writing, it's the direction, it's the acting. Whoever was involved.
Yeah, agreed.
You really got to me through the entire episode of my life. And this is how it was in the book with Diana. My life and memories and death and remembering and feeling like you're there and certain dates that are the same and looking back and history. It's just, oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. So of course, the minute that Claire has, some like confirmed accommodations for the evening, she starts drinking. Much like we would.
Oh yeah. Just drink it. And that was my second cry, was her sitting there when Roger came in and they started talking. Second cry, and that's when I stopped paying attention to all my cries. But my second cry was Claire sitting in that chair with her wee dram.
I thought I marked all my crying points, but now I don't have a marking here. So my question was, and I'm sure you had this question often throughout the episode, how did Claire get her hair so damn straight?
Number one, yes. Number two, it's Scotland. So
that's right.
So I really want to know how she straightened it. Because right. I wouldn't put it this way, you guys. I live at the Jersey Shore. I've told you ad nauseum. It's really humid here in the summertime. I live in between the river and the ocean. Okay. I would never dream of straightening my hair like now, like in the summertime. So she's in Scotland where it's rainy and you know what I mean?
Warm, but I mean, they had like light jackets.
Well, think about, I was just going to say, if it's not too humid, you can kind of get away with it. In the wintertime, I love it because even if it rains, it's okay. So maybe it was just the time of year. When did he die? I can't remember. What time of year are we talking here?
I don't know. all I can tell you is, you know how hot it is in my house right now? This wine that has the cork skull and the 4, like, faux cubes is, like, hot. It's just gross. Oh. God, I need to do a GoFundMe that people will just give me air conditioners.
You should have drank. You should have drank. You should have drunk red wine. I like red wine warmer.
And I don't like it in the summer. It's too hot.
I agree, but you know what? If you're going to drink hotter, warmer wine, I like red wine. I actually don't like red wine after it sits out for a while and gets room temperature. It's too cold for me. I like it a little like warmer.
Okay. All right. We need.
Yeah,
to
right. I'm sorry. I apologize because we're totally going off on tangent.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. How did you like Claire's baby blue? Like, what would you call some kind of jacket? What do you call this quilted jacket? It's like a
her house coat?
Like her house coat. Yes, it's gorgeous.
It was very nice. Nice. Yes. But anyway, we find out that Roger is really Mackenzie. That he was adopted, which we sort of knew, I think. I think the Reverend told us that like way back in season 1. So Roger says to Claire, how do you do it? How do you say goodbye to the one person you loved most in the world? And talk about double meaning there. And Claire's like, you just do it. And, you know, you have to move on because that's what the person would want you to do. I think I teared up a little bit, even though I didn't write it down. But, so Claire goes off to go to sleep and she looks at Bree and she's like, oh, you're so like a father. We could debate that, but whatever.
Ain't no debate needs to happen there. I went forward a little tiny bit, and all of a sudden I'm like on the battlefield with Mock Me.
But anyway, so we transitioned from Bree to Jamie, and it was great, and it was awesome. And Jamie's talking to Mark Me, and he tells Mark Me, no, we're not ready. And Mark Me says, Mark Me, for the 16th time.
And
so
it was
you guys.
16.
That's it. That's all we ever see of Mark Me. So 16 is the winning number. I will say I had 13, so I was like soundly defeated here. At some point this summer, somewhere, sometime down the road, Carol and I will go through all of the comments from since the beginning of time.
If you know you guessed 16, please email us. And Tracey,
we'll get you a little something.
Tracey, who won the Outlander Kitchen, please email me. I haven't heard from her.
She's not really?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to choose another winner soon. So yeah, Tracey.
I'll blog again and just say, listen, you gotta email.
You can't get an email address from her, like from her post or anything.
I'll have to look and see if I can click on that through.
We gotta get that done
through Google.
Okay. So Mark Me, being the douche that he is all like, James, you're such a doubting Thomas. Here. You like put your fingers in the hole in my hand.
I was disgusted.
And Jamie's like, look, my hand is the main one, bitch. So like, shut up.
But weren't you like, holy shit, it took 13 episodes for me to realize just how cray-cray this guy is?
No, I was pretty convinced earlier.
He thinks he's Jesus. I was like,
you think you're Jesus. All right.
I seriously was like, oh my God, like this guy is a nut job.
He is a nut job. And it makes it even more meaningful later on when Claire's at Culloden and you know, they're all like the old couple's all like, oh, it's Bonnie Prince Charlie. Look at him. He is like, and she's like, yeah, he was a douche. Let's call a spade here.
I loved all that. This is what I'm saying, the back and forth. I loved when Claire was like, yeah, I signed that. Sorry. Like, because I was salivating and I was jealous because for me, when like I'm so like spazzy about the Revolutionary War, and when I go to places or when I see things, if I could shove myself there for a day even, how cool is that?
All right, so the British Army's approaching, and then we cut back to the present. I have to say, I said this earlier, yeah, it was a little too much cutting back and forth for me. There are a couple of past portions that I would have stitched together rather than cut them in half, but that's just me.
Well, as I said, I'm usually not that much of a fan of the back and forth, but I loved it this time around. I don't know why.
Okay, we're back in the present. Bree and Roger are at Fort William, which is really gross. And now, for all of you real big Bree fans, you might want to turn your sound down for a few seconds because I'm about to make fun of her.
The actress or Bree?
Just Bree.
Okay.
Bree. That cat, like, could she have been any more like, I'm a pretentious, bratty, annoying, late 60s, hippie wannabe, whatever.
What, with the hat?
With the little hat.
Yeah, but that's costume.
But I was like, Bree's cap. Here's what I wrote down. Bree's cap is annoying. Hi, I'm Bree. Look at my groovy cap.
I totally agree. And I also want you to know this was in the freezer and I made Cabot slushies.
Carol, will you talk for 30 seconds if I go get more frozen thingies? Because this warm
totally.
wine is putrid.
Totally.
Okay,
all right, you guys. Here's the deal. I have to say, I don't know if it's like I like fashion more than Tracey or something, but I really loved her whole, first of all, love the pea coat, want it. The striped scarf, cute. She's got the little cap on. See, now I don't agree with Tracey because my friend Beth, I'll have to tell her that I'm recording this and talking about her. My friend Beth is so stylish and she is so mod and she totally has a hat like that and would wear it anytime. So I didn't have a problem with Bree. I also have kind of a 70s vibe going. Most people sort of have like a decade that they relate to when they dress. And for me, it's the 70s. So I really I would wear what Bree is wearing. I love hats, but I don't have the confidence to wear hats like that. But other than that whole ensemble, I would totally wear that today.
I don't know. It's just like, maybe it's just because I don't like Bree. And I mean, I think the actress did a good job because she solidified my Bree is really annoying to me. But here's where we get to the part where Carol's like, "Oh, it's forgiven, Bree. I love you." When Bree's all like, Benedict Arnold was a complicated figure.
Holy shit. Oh my
And I was
God.
like, oh, look, Bree watches turn too.
God, I'm going to cry.
In my notes.
I'm seriously going to lose it. Guys, I spent my entire July 4th feeling conflicted and guilty that I was upset over a red coat, okay? I'm telling you right now, I loved that line. I love, love, love that line. I am ready to go read books about Benedict Arnold.
You should. They should write the guy who wrote the John Adams book or the Alexander Hamilton book should write a Benedict Arnold book. Benedict Arnold book. I don't know. I haven't read enough. I have to research more. I don't know how to make up my mind on that. But I loved it. And any of you guys who watch Turn, and I know there are a ton of you guys out there, you guys, really quick, Tracey, let me just say that the 11th on Monday, there's going to be a Twitter event at 10 p.m. for Turn Washington Spies. And I know a lot of Outlander and Turn fans mesh together because it's all a lot of the same stuff. And 10 to 11 Eastern, I believe it's Eastern, is going to be a Twitter event because we need a season 4 for Turn. Okay. Keep going on, Outlander. Okay. So I probably don't even remember if I was in the past. No, I was still in the present. Okay, so we're still in the present. It's Claire, and she's in the car, and she's driving this way, and she's driving that way, and she's driving this way, and she's driving that way.
And in the coolest glasses.
Oh my God. Claire's driving glasses are the bomb. They are the diggity dog, and I want them.
Oh my God! But wait,
Terry Dressback, because I know I was just talking to your husband before. He can go away now. Terry Dressback, where'd you get those glasses? Because those are awesome.
But wait, Tracey, you forgot to mention where the flogging and everything when the two of them were.
Yeah. I just was like, ew. Yes, they were Bree's like, this place is really creepy. And then Roger's like,
I loved that.
Roger's like, oh yeah, because they used to flog people here.
If you're the kind of person who gets that kind of feeling and that kind of deja vu and that kind of ooh, I've been here or something awful happened here, I could totally relate to that. I loved that when she said that.
I have no soul, so I didn't really care.
Tracey is just too flippant to really. Tracey's too all over the place to really stop and.
all over the place. Are you kidding me?
She's too type A.
Yeah, right. That's true. I can't do yoga because I can't like turn my mind off. I
Yeah,
can't.
she
like,
doesn't. You guys, who does yoga and doesn't do shavasana? Do any of you guys do yoga and get up during shavasana? It's the best. It's yoga dessert.
I don't know what that means. So okay, moving on. So Claire's driving and she gets to Lollybrock. Meanwhile, then she gets out of the car. That wig. Ooh. Wah, 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 wah. It's like
That
once
was the
she's
Cruella
outside,
wig.
that wig that's like this, you know, like perfect Jackie O in the day or in the inside is like, you know.
Okay, I'm going to send you the Cruella from Once Upon a Time on ABC on Sunday nights, and you are going to crack up because that was the Cruella wig times 10.
I'm a really terrible person.
That wig was, oh boy. But I mean, again, as Carol said, Scotland, any time of year, like trying to keep your hair straight, as Claire knows, when you're a curly girl, it's going to be hard.
Mist.
Okay.
Too much mist.
So Claire is at Lollybrock and she starts hearing voices. And I start to well up, even my soulless me. And then we get to a point that I have a feeling book readers, you know, we hear various things we've heard throughout the series. At Lollybrock, we hear, you know, young Jamie, and we hear Margaret, and we hear the potatoes. Then we hear Claire and Jamie, like, reciting Shakespeare. If you're a non-book reader. If you're a non-book reader, you're like, I will be very curious to know if you were like, what the F is this? Or if you were like, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
If you were a book reader, you were like, ah! Ah! Ah!
Yep.
Because it's really, really meaningful to book readers. I will say that those couple of lines, it doesn't appear in the show. I don't think it's a big spoiler to say what it really means because book readers or non-book readers maybe are like, yeah, what? Part of Hugh Monroe's wedding gift to Clara and Jamie, besides the Dragonfly and Amber, is he writes a little bit of a poem. He like writes a little verse on something, and it's this little verse in like Latin, I think, from Calatus. I don't know how to pronounce the poet or the writer or whatever, but it's basically what you heard. Okay, it's what you heard them say.
Well, our lips begin and tell 1,000 and 100 score, 100 and 1,000 more.
Okay, and again, I'm gonna just like, it's not really a spoiler because it didn't happen in the TV show and it happens in the book. The ring is Claire's ring is very different in the book. Jamie has it made, but he has that saying engraved in the ring, and Claire doesn't find it, you know, right away. So that was one of these things that I think the non-book readers are like, what the F was that? Book readers know that was Ron Moore being like the world's most tasty bone ever, being like, here, book readers, come on, and we're all like, you know, ready to get it. That was for us and us only. There was no other purpose besides like shutting us up. To the point where I wonder if they overlaid that because of all the crap they were getting about no Jamie and Claire. And they finally were like, okay, you want some Jamie and Claire bitches? We're going to give you some Jamie and Claire. Sam, Kat, get in the studio. Get in the ADR studio. We got some sound we need you to record. But it was very meaningful to all of us. Oh my God, look at you. I will just say this, you guys. for those of you non-book readers, many people get Outlander tattoos. They get 2 tattoos, okay? One of the tattoos they get is Just Be Pray. The other one is Dom. Well, it's in Latin, and I'm saying this wrong. It's Dom mi bacia mil, which is like 100,000 kisses or something like that. It's a huge thing. They gave it to us, and we take from them. Thanks, guys. It was good. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense in the narrative, but I don't care.
Seeing him / them say that for me wouldn't have gotten this.
Mm-hmm.
It's her sitting there. Well, I was going to say modern day.
I think there's one additional thing that got you. It's as that's being said, or right after.
Oh, when she sees him in the...
Carol, I have to tell you this. Then this will make you cry because it'll make me cry a little bit too. Remember back in the day in the wedding, you and I were so incensed because it was all about Claire, and the whole book is about the wedding. The beacon of light in the wedding in the book is shown on Jamie in full a Highlander in full Highland regalia is a thing of beauty or whatever it says, and in the show it was like whatever, like, well, look at Claire's dress.
Yes.
This is where it came in. This is where we got it. This is where
not
we got
only
it.
that,
Jamie in the archway, when Claire sees him in the archway, in her mind in the archway, he was a Highlander in full regalia. Yes, 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 yes.
Can you see it?
Yep. Yes. Is that another computer? Do you have like many computers in here?
Usually I try to watch with my iPad, but it always freezes, and then I have to go back to the beginning. So I said, I'm going to get my old MacBook. Not only, you're totally right, it's him and the sun, but it
What?
I'm like, I might as well be like in the Miss America contest going.
Or, in my office where it's like 100 damn degrees going.
God, I need a tissue.
Tito, give me a tissue.
He's not there.
I know.
And she's just thinking about him, and it's been 20 years, and she's still thinking about him. Like seeing.
Well, you know what? I mean, yes, still. But I have to wonder if, like, she's allowed herself to think about him.
Well, yes. That's not what I meant to say when I said she's still thinking about him.
Mm.
Of course she's still there. But she's seeing him. And it reminded me of the ghost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so sorry. We don't know about the ghost yet.
I know.
So
I know.
I don't know why it's always Jamie that will get me to cry. If I'm driving and I hear a song and I start thinking, he's just Job. He's just so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say tortured. I want to say tortured, but
I mean, he's not a tragic figure, but he
handles...
just takes everybody's shit. He just how the honey badger takes what it wants. Jamie's the opposite. Jamie takes all everybody's crap, takes what it doesn't want.
But he doesn't ever complain, and he always. I can't say what I want to say because that's a spoiler, but he's so good.
I know.
And there he is in the archway, but it's not modern day, but it's now, and she's, for all intents and purposes, I know it's 1960s, but it's now. Let's just say it's now, and she's remembering.
I know
somebody who's died, and this is something. Well,
right, and I don't think she's allowed herself to do that. I don't. And certainly not like sitting on the steps of where she and he used to be.
But anybody who's lost anybody, I mean, this has to touch you at your very core. We've all been through this. We've all sat and thought about somebody who died and years ago, and you just the way they did this with it, her seeing him standing.
Yeah. And the poem and All right.
All right. I'm sorry.
We gotta move on because
I
we'll
need
be
it.
here for a freaking ever.
Now you talk as I need a tissue.
Okay, Carol needs a tissue. Yeah, I will be very curious to hear, non-book readers, did that weird you out at all? Because it really was like, line from the show, other line from the show, other line from the show, other line from the show. Now Claire's like talking some like weird Shakespeare thing. Now Jamie's talking some weird Shakespeare thing. So it had no meaning to you really, but did you care about that? I chose to, I think I thought about that, like, is it really connected to the story at all? But then I was like, shut up, brain. Yeah, I just like that they put it in. I mean, God bless them for that. So, all right, we're moving on.
It just shows what an amazing job has been done on this episode.
Yes. Okay, all right, going into the past, back to the past. We're in 1746. Claire is like, okay, Jamie, there's only one more thing we can do, and that is kill Martha.
Loved that.
Because, I've got the yellow jasmine, and I got, like, a full case of it at Costco, so we're all good. Like, do you want anyone else killed? Anyone else annoying you? Like, 'cause I can do it. So, it was a little weird to me that Jamie was so shocked when Claire told him that she had given Colin the yellow jasmine. Blue jasmine is a movie from Woody Allen. Yellow jasmine is poison. That she had given him the yellow jasmine, and Jamie's all like, Claire, suicide is a mortal sin. And I was like, yeah, just like the one, the mortal sin that you were thinking about committing in last season.
Oh, bite your tongue.
16.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah, that one? That mortal sin, Jamie? Because, whatever. But, okay, whatever. I'm still pissed off about that episode, and I always will be. Okay, but anywho. Then we're back to present day. And again, it just felt so quick. So quick. I'll be curious to know what people thought about the intercutting. Like, I felt like that could have been a little longer, and maybe we could have lost, like, 1 or 4 Bree Roger things. Okay. So back to, speaking of Roger and Bree, I honestly don't even remember where this took place. Oh, I think this was when they were like sitting by the car outside, like looking at some nice scenery. And Bree's like, do you remember an incident with my parents? And Roger's like, I was 5 now. Then Roger's like, well, wait a minute. Yes. Like, do you remember when Mrs. What's her name was crying because your dad beat up our shed?
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah.
And Bree was like, I know he had a temper, but like, really? He beat up a shed? And so Bree, then we find out that she has no peaches and cream because she snuck into his closet and snuck into his private stuff and dug out some letter to the Reverend, or the Reverend to him, about some incident that they weren't talking about. So she doesn't know what it is.
I had to laugh at how, like, Frank's stuff is all in a lockbox in the closet that you need a key for. And yet the Reverend's stuff is just thrown in the attic, all haphazard and whatnot.
And meanwhile, Frank is probably like, here's the key to my lockbox. I'm hiding it in this drawer. I hope nobody finds it.
Whereas like the Reverend Wakefield, it was like, oh, here's something under the KFC wrapper and the deflated basketball.
Okay. All right. So then we go to Claire. And Claire is at some county office or something, and she's totally like going to she's asking about the title of Lollybrock.
Yeah,
and I thought she was going to buy Lollybrock for a second. Did you?
Yes, totally. I was like, "Oh, is she looking into that?" She was dealing with Fiona's BFF over at the office.
Fiona's BFF reminded me of somebody, and I don't know who it was. I have to like
Adele.
No, I don't know who it was. And Fiona's BFF was talking like in a normal, 20th century like speech, but then like she throws in an I like in there somewhere. Like
well, they all say I still.
Roger never said I.
Ever. Oh, I don't know. Tom's cousins all say I, and his cousin Brenda. I once swear to God, I heard her have an entire conversation. She and her neighbor, and it was
Gaelic?
like. No, but it was all like I. Oh, I.
Did she make the Scottish noise?
I don't remember that. I'll have to call Lynn and see if they make.
Okay.
I bet Alistair makes that noise.
Okay. So Claire, anyway, so she goes to find the title, and she finds that the title was passed down to Jamie Murray, witnessed by one Murtaugh Fraser and Claire Beecham, something or other, but it's all like smudgy. But it looks like Fraser too. And Claire's like, oh, yeah.
How could she not lose it?
She will not cry, Carol. She will not cry.
She will not
needed
cry.
A crying jag in this episode, I will say. Claire had it very together. So then she's like, oh, and like, okay, I know you do like title searches and stuff. But, like, do you do genealogical stuff, too? I should go ask that at, like, the Essex County, Hall of Records.
About
like,
what?
I've been to the Essex County Hall of Records to find, because I live in an old house. My house was built in 1893. So I went and traced the trail one time of, like, all the owners and stuff. And I should have just been like, by the by, I think, like, if I was born in, like, Morris County, can you, like, just find my genealogy trail, like, too?
You should totally do that, but it's so funny because you and I are like, oh my God, 1893. But meanwhile, like Tom's cousins make fun of us because we're all, ooh, like this house has been here since the 1700s. And meanwhile, they walked us through St. Andrews like a 12th century castle.
I know. But 1893 is pretty good for like America.
I'm just laughing at anybody from Britain watching this who's like, oh, 1893.
Okay.
Tracey, you totally should. I'll come with you.
But I'm not going to go get my genealogy done at the Essex County Hall of Records. It doesn't do that. Maybe they do.
You have
Scotland,
to get your DNA scraped like I did.
All right, whatever. Okay. So, now we're back to Bree, and Bree is home, and she's talking to Claire.
With her high-waisted brown pants on.
Right. And this is where Bree, I just want to smack the bejesus out of her, because she's so bratty. She's like, I don't even know what she was saying. Like, do you miss Daddy? Because, sometimes I think you never loved him at all. I was like,
rude.
Claire would have been within her rights to be like, this, Bree.
I kept thinking she looked like she could have been more of Frank's kid.
Well, she acted like she could have been more of Frank's kid, certainly. She doesn't have that in common. She doesn't have being a douche in common with her father, with her real father.
Yeah.
Maybe she got that from the Mackenzie side of the family. I don't know. But yeah, it was just like, really, Bree? Really? Just shut up.
That's the nurture end of it. That's the Frank end of it.
That was harsh.
That was way harsh, Ty.
So, yeah, I mean, but again, like, I think that Sophie Skelton is doing a good job because, like, she's pulling the Bree right out of the book. And Bree is just, like, she's, like, annoying and...
Snotty McSnot
snotty. She's just annoying. So, okay, we're back to the past. And Dougal's like this.
Yeah, Dougal's all in the window. I mean, in the door.
And Claire and Jamie are like this. And then Faux Ian comes in. He's like, George wants you to do something or other. And I don't even know I think that did happen. And then we go back to the present. And again, that was a little bit too quick for me of a cut. It was just like, one line cut back. So, okay.
See, I liked it a lot because to me, it kept reminding me, this is the past, this is the past, this is the past. You know what I mean? You weren't in the past long enough to forget that you're Claire remembering.
I guess. But it was that moment. That's where I wrote it down. Present. Too much cutting back and forth. I wrote that I felt that cut was just too quick. That particular one. But so Roger and Bree are at some university. I don't know where.
Roger is just in the worst wide whale blazer I've ever seen.
So.
And again, that's nothing against costume because good for you because that's what they wore.
I remember wide whales, but I mean, I don't remember them. I remember wide whales being popular in like 1976.
Well, he's got on a wide whale blazer, but again, I think it's, you know what? Maybe it's just like, it might not even be wide whale. It just kind of looks like wide whale.
I remember buying some wide whales at like the Limited in like 1976, 77, 78, something like that.
Yes, love them.
Okay. So Roger and Bree are at some university. So Roger has to go do some work, and Bree's wandering around, and she hears this big protest going on. She goes over to see what it's about, and it's Kooky
It's Kooky McCookson.
It's Kooky McCookerson.
Now, I, as a TV audience member, not a book reader, you guys must have been like, what the what? Like, seeing Galis again. Here she is,
Except for the fact that they saw her name in the credits and they knew it was coming. So.
See, I never did because I was going through too much of a sensory psycho
I'll never
out.
get over at Ron Moore.
Yeah. So again, Tracey, anyone who didn't see that is sitting here like, and you know, everybody who's, especially non-book readers, they might not pay attention to Lottie Verbeek's name. You know what I mean? So they might be like, who?
You know, you kind of did remember that she... That's interesting because, like, we as non-book readers, well, nah, never mind. You may have realized. No, that was last season. When Dougal says last season, he says, she told me to tell you these numbers in this order, not 1968. So we knew that 1968 was an important year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So if you were perceptive and you were listening and you were practicing good listening skills, you knew that this all added up. But I really, like I said at the beginning of the show, I really liked the way they did this.
Yes.
In the book, it's really like awkward and weird and sort of stuck on at the very end. And this whole thing with her meeting Bree was really great.
Very cool.
I thought very cool.
Yes.
You know, the fact that she kind of bypasses Claire and Bree meets her, and Bree meets her in a context where she likes her.
Right.
Very, 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 very cool. Whoever thought of that.
Right.
You know, Emmy for you, my friend.
And still never sees Claire, so doesn't put two and two together that Bree. Right.
So then, so I guess she's like, you know, for like representing a free Scotland, whatever. And then when she's all like, I am Bonnie Prince Charlie, I'm like, you are crazy. Yeah, she's pretty nutty, our Gillis.
I didn't really understand that because she knew the history.
I know, but I think that the history, in her mind, the history went bad. The bad guys won. Like
anybody who knows the history knows that Bonnie Prince Charlie was a friggin' idiot and got them all killed.
Well, no. That's no. That's one interpretation of the history. Okay? There are many other interpretations. There are interpretations that say people screwed him over. That the English were just too powerful for them.
Which they should have known. I mean...
No, but I mean, you could say the same thing for... I mean, I don't want to get into politics today, but you could say the same thing for politics today. You take two people who are running for office, and depending on, like, your viewpoint, you are going to have a certain opinion about that person.
I agree with what you're saying, but I've always read it that Bonnie Prince Charlie... that they were cold and tired and hungry and exhausted, and he never should have done what he did.
Well, in her
with Culloden.
in her mind, that wasn't the case. they were just weak, or they were traitors, or they weren't supporting him enough. Whatever.
How did she think she was going to change it? Get them more money or something?
No, just find herself a rich husband, and get them more money.
Did she get them more money?
I don't think we really know. I mean, I think she was working with Dougal to gather money for them.
Other than get impregnated with Dougal's spawn, did she really change anything?
I don't know. I think we've proven that you really can't change anything. But okay,
you can't fight City Hall, Dad. Oh yes, you can. I can't believe you didn't get my Brady Bunch reference.
Oh, I'm hitting a wall, so I need to like.
You know what, Tracey? We are like not even halfway through. We need to hurry this up.
All right. Okay. So Claire goes to Culloden. This is beginning to be some tough stuff.
Heavy duty shit.
She's in the museum. This is where she the guy's like, oh, Bonnie Prince Charlie. He's so like whatever. She's like, he's not that tall, and he was a douche. So shut up.
Didn't you love how the Madame Tussauds like wax figure looked exactly like him?
And then she sees the dragonfly that she gave, that as it turns out she gave Jamie, and it was unnamed piece of crap that they found on Culloden Moor.
I loved that.
She should be like, curator, is there a docent in the house? Because I can give you a lot of information on that.
Was this filmed at Culloden?
I wondered the same thing, and I wondered about Fort William too, but I don't know. Maybe Fort William, no, because I think maybe that was made up, but I'm not sure. I don't know. If there's any, I'm sure there are people out here who are watching it that know the whole story, so let us know in the comments. Okay, Moving on. So we're back in the past.
Jamie Dougal.
Dougal is pissed. And I gotta tell you, Graham McTavish, there is not enough good on the face of this earth to say about that performance. My God. Dude, you are the epitome of the acting school of less is more. Because he was so quiet and so still at times, and then he would just be like, and then he would rein himself in, and then he would be out of control. Oh my God, he was riveting. He was so amazing, and Quiet Angry was so great. So the knife fight starts, and goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and finally, you don't know who's gonna win. They're pointing whatever, and finally Jamie gets it down. And this is the point we need to talk about. Remember, I was texting you before, and I was like, I need to talk about something. And I don't know if this is what you meant, but this is what I meant. Claire walks over, puts her hands on the knife, the hilt of the knife, and pushes.
Oh yeah, Tom had plenty to say.
See, honest to God, this is where I would want Tom.
Tom, you want to talk about Claire pushing the knife into Dougal? Tom was
tell him we're about to talk about it, because I had some problems with that.
Tom goes, can't even leave him alone when he's killing his uncle. Tom was sitting there and he's like, oh, here she goes.
Tom, his sister-in-law, says, please.
Tracey says, please. We would love you to come chit-chat for just a second or two. He's not. He at this point went, oh my God, she can't even leave him alone.
All right, I will just say, in the book, I mean, it goes down pretty much in the book as one of those movies where, they're fighting. You don't know who's going to win. Maybe you think the one guy's got it, but he's just shocked because he's killed the other guy. It's nobody's fault, really. I mean, somebody had to die. It had gotten to that. Whoever won was going to die, was going to be the winner, and whoever lost was going to die. Here, I had a real problem with Claire, walking over and you know, making it happen. I had a real problem with that. Like, I mean, that's there's repercussions to that.
Maybe okay, here's how I took it. I took it as self-defense. I don't remember the book it being such total self-defense.
No, No,
put it this way. It's not like he walked in and Jamie was like...
I read this whole part after I watched it.
But from the second it started, Dougal came after him, he defended himself, and that's that. And I feel like I took it as Claire didn't know if Jamie would be able to ultimately carry out the act. And Claire was thinking, F this. I'm not going to sit here and watch Dougal kill my husband.
I know. I better help this 6'5" strapping Scotsman.
Yes.
His muscles kill this guy.
I'm not saying I agree with the choice she made. I'm just saying that's how I explain it. I feel that she was like, oh my God, he could kill Jamie. I have to help. Claire, she's always got to have a hand in it. And if we turn just a little to the right, we're going to hit this nerve and artery.
I found it disturbing. I found it kind of disturbing that she was complicit in it. I just, again, in the book, if you go back and you read the book, it's a struggle. Jamie and Dougal struggling. Anybody could win. If one's going to kill the other, one's going to kill the other. Boom, you don't know who died. It's Dougal. Claire has nothing to do with it. Here, Claire killed a guy. And I think that, there needs to be, you can't just shrug that off in my head.
Hold it.
What?
Did you ever think that maybe Claire knows how conflicted Jamie will be that I killed Dougal, I killed my uncle, I killed the war chieftain? So Claire helped him so that he doesn't have to carry that burden alone?
It's not so much that he has to carry the burden alone, it's that she has to carry it too. And
And that's what I'm saying. They're a team. It's the two of us now. She doesn't want Jamie to have that weighing on him, so she jumped in, so it's the both of them.
So his sins are her sins.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I had something in mind, and now it jumped out. I forget what it was, but what the hell? It was a good thing too. I don't know. I don't remember. It was very odd to me that the other thing is Jamie, we don't see Jamie after the end of the episode or after 1746 to know what kind of guilt or repercussions he's carrying around. We do see Claire. She doesn't seem to be all that bummed that she
yes,
had a hand in all this. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It sort of furthers this kind of step away from the book, which again is okay. This is TV Claire is much more of a Lady Macbeth, I think, than book Claire. And that move of helping to kill Dougal is an extremely Lady Macbeth move. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm not thrilled with it at all.
I don't really care about the whole Lady Macbeth stuff, but I just feel like, I don't know. We also, as somebody's been pointing out, a few people have been pointing out lately, this is Claire's point of view as far as the book readers go. This has been Claire's point of view. And don't forget that about Dougal in Outlander, with Claire in the cave. And we've seen so much shitty behavior from Dougal. We know he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. I didn't care that he was dying. I didn't care.
So you think that they had Claire participate in it because Dougal's, fucked her over and now she's getting back at him?
No, I think Claire's okay with it in her mind because she knows he's a douchebag.
See, I don't see what it adds to the story to have her participate. I think the story is fine with the two of them, with Jamie and Dougal fighting to the death.
Well,
And
they
Jamie-
obviously thought that either it wouldn't make sense for Jamie to kill him, or that we, the audience, weren't going to appreciate Jamie. I don't really know what
But it was sort of self-defense on Jamie's. Like I would totally have forgiven Jamie. I had no problem with Jamie
forgiving him. Nothing to forgive,
right? Because he did what he had to do. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like banging on this. He did what he had to do, but what I don't get is why Claire needed to be involved in it.
I don't either, but we'll find out because they'll tell us.
We'll see if Ron says anything about it.
Oh, they will.
But
they will.
Ron, no bueno. Per me. So.
I was going to say, Tracey's thumbs down, I'm thumbs up. I didn't have a problem with it.
That keeps this episode at the top score it can get as an A- because of that. It really bugged me.
And not only that, but there's other things about Dougal that I'm trying to remember if we would know from watching the show, so I won't say anything. But he's a douchebag.
He is a douchebag, but that doesn't excuse murder on the part of Claire. And Claire, I mean, at that point, Jamie had things under control. He did. Dougal, he had Dougal in the lock. He had already started stabbing him. Dougal was pretty much done. And Claire was just like, oh, let me twist the knife. Boom. I didn't get it, and there was no repercussions after it. I didn't like it. Okay.
Tom.
I didn't like it. And tell Tom we'll talk about it another time. Maybe
Tracey?
we'll have a podcast with just Tom and us.
He's halfway up the stairs. He's running.
You can tell him how I felt tomorrow.
And I will say before I forget that all of you who love Claire or think that Tom doesn't like Claire, at the end of the episode, he was like, wow, I really like... What did you say about liking Claire in this episode? She grew on him in this episode.
That's good.
I think it's that Bree's such a bitch that now he feels bad for Claire. He was like, I really liked Claire in this episode.
Was he like, Bree is a huge bitch?
I think I might even get a little drums reading out of him now.
Okay. Moving on. So we're back to Brianna and Roger.
Ugh.
In the attic, they're looking for stuff. Okay, this is the part where I started to fall in love with Roger. And the part that I started to fall in love with Roger is the rat singing.
Oh, yeah, the singing.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's Roger.
How adorable was he?
Yes.
How adorable was he?
I have Roger singing in the attic. Cute.
That's where I started. That's where the love started, you guys. Okay, they find a box. they're like, maybe we can find something about that will give us a clue. Like, oh, here's this box labeled Franzel.
Oh, it's right here next to the KFC wrapper.
So they take that downstairs. Now we're back in the bath.
Wait. How much did you crack up? Like, oh, here's something signed by King George. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but isn't that even in the 60s worth a shitload of money?
I know. Oh, I thought that way back in the title office, because that light, the
I'm like,
the lady's all like, oh, here's the oldest thing in our office. It's 200 years old.
Shouldn't Sotheby's
touch it with your oil-filled arms. Meanwhile, the Declaration of Independence is behind fucking bulletproof.
We the people. Should
You're handing out 200-year-old piece of paper. I can't.
No, the best was, I made you a copy.
Oh my God.
I just took this 200-year-old piece of paper and I shoved it in the Xerox machine.
They're so much older back over there across the pond that they're 200 years old. Oh, whatever.
That ain't nothing but a thing.
If it ain't the Magna Carta, it's all good.
But seriously, honest to God, I was like, shouldn't Sotheby's be auctioning this off at some point?
Oh my god! All right. Oh my god, we have to move on. Okay,
Oh
so
my
we're
God.
in the past. In the past. Rupert walks in. Jamie's like, "Give me 2 hours to clean up this mess, and I'll be back." Now, and this is where I wrote down like Sam Heughan, if you're watching, which of course you are because you love us, right?
Watching this?
Yeah,
I thought you meant the show.
it's Outlander. Sam Heughan doesn't have anything to do either. So what the hell?
If you guys are, if anybody remotely related to the show, anybody having to do with the show is watching us, which
Carol
I
at myoutlanderpurgatory.com.
Which
Tracy at myoutlanderpurgatory.com.
which I know you're not. If you could just give us a sign.
How about hashtag Magna Carta on Twitter? Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay. Is my mascara running? Because it's 90,100 damn degrees in here.
Your forehead's a little shiny.
Oh god.
But it looks
When it's
pretty. Like to me,
too.
it looks like the youth glow of like the dew.
I have to interject. I'm all summer because we went to see the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on 4th of July. It was awesome, you guys. It was so awesome. Joey Chestnut, go, go, go. So funny, but I'm burnt to crisp as a result.
This is the longest video we've ever done, to the point where I'm going to have to pause pretty soon and use the facility.
All right, come on, focus.
I'm trying.
Okay. Oh my god. It's gonna be
Okay.
okay.
So Claire.
So Sam. No. I wanted to say Sam is just home running this left and right, but Grant O'Rourke, you need a little proppies here because we haven't given you any all season, and that was a nice little speech you gave. I said he hit a triple with that response to Sam. Okay,
Yes.
Back to the present.
Okay.
We're at Culloden.
So Claire's at Culloden, which killed me. I don't even want to talk about it because I'll cry again.
I know.
But I have to say that she's there with her Cruella hair, which I really shouldn't talk as I'm noticing I've got a stripe right here.
I just put mine up because it was disgusting and whatever.
But God bless her. I thought to myself, I love when she was like, I didn't cry because I
think she had a wig change though midstream. Because I wrote down Claire's outro wig. Oh my god,
a Kristen Stewart Bella Swan eclipse wig.
And then I said Claire tells Jamie all the news and changes wigs.
Oh my god. And she just sits there with that. Again, I'm putting myself in her position that I'm not going to cry again, I promise. That she's sitting there at Culloden, which I have.
And she did.
I have told Tom in the past that if I pass, I want him to have me cremated and sprinkle my ashes at Culloden. But since that time, I've changed my mind because I'm more of a Revolutionary War gal. So I have to just decide I think it's Paoli. Remember Paoli.
All right.
Okay, so wait. So she's sitting there. Okay, the woman who came along and like said something, was she
a Fraser?
Was she just putting like Heather or whatever at each like
I don't know. Maybe she was a Fraser too.
She's like, were you a Fraser? And I'm thinking, were you? Like, Claire, you can't let her know that you were a Fraser. She's going to want the deets.
No, I didn't even think of that. I just thought, like, whatever.
That's what I was thinking. But I did love that she told him her little stories. Mm-hmm. And then we go back to Roger and Bree.
Well, wait. You skipped one thing that made me cry. When she's like, I said, I couldn't do it then. So I'm saying it now. Goodbye. Rest easy, soldier.
Yeah.
Sob. First true sob of the night.
Yes.
First true sob of the night for me.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't sob, but I won't get into that.
Bree finds clippings. All right, we're back in the present. Bree finds clippings in the journal. Oh, Bree's hair was bad in this part of the attic, or they're still in the attic. I think.
It was very
no. They're in like an off. I don't know where the hell they are, but it was all frizzy. It's all frizzy. Because what I wrote down was Bree finds clippings in journal with bad hair, and she knows. She finds out. Then she finds some frizzies, and then confronts Claire because then her hair is all smooth and
True.
like. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, you must think us we're really shallow, but we think about these things with the hair that we have.
Hair.
So.
Yeah, we have crazy hair. But excuse me, because I think I might have just belched in the
No,
microphone.
I was thinking about it, but then I didn't.
Um,
So then Roger, this is what made me love Roger a little more. This whole scene where Roger comes in, he's like, Bree, I found another. Okay, I'm just gonna go away. Like, no, Roger's my friend and he's staying. Okay.
Was this? I don't know because my notes, you guys, I was so like,
You didn't take any notes, as you told me.
No, I took notes. I'm reading them, but they were all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know. You like some weeks I'm really good and I have headlines and
I'm very good with the notes. So what do you want to know?
Was this the cheesiest of the cheesy F word fest of life? Because there was an exchange between Claire and Bree where they were using the F word when they first started talking about Frank.
Oh, no. That was later.
All right.
This was, no. Claire just, like, Claire tells the truth.
Remind me to go back to that.
Okay.
Wait a minute, though. How did you like how they did it? That Bree found the information.
Bree found the information. It was okay. It was okay.
The book readers are expecting Claire to tell Bree.
Claire tells Bree.
But honestly, this made more sense because even when you're reading it, you're cringing like, oh, God, they're never going to believe you.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was fine. You know, it probably made Bree out to be even brattier than she is.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. I thought it was fine.
How'd you like Bree's Fair Isle? That was very 80s.
Yeah, I know. Claire was rocking a lot of really good time period.
Little cable turtleneck happening.
Yeah, I like that. But then I thought it was interesting when Claire was like, when Bree at one point was like, did you come here? Did you bring me here on purpose? And Claire was like, no, I didn't. But I kind of wonder if she really did.
I'm looking at a picture right now. Bree just is so angry. Like
Bree is. She is.
She's very angry and she's got like dark eyes and I don't know. She's very angry.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we go back to the past. Jamie tells Murtaugh that he killed Dougal. Murtaugh's like, yeah, it's about time, bitch.
Oopsie.
Jamie pulls out the deed of transfer. And tells Fergus that he's going to take it to Jenny. Fergus.
Love him.
Love. And then we go back to the present, and it's
wait. I love the motherly hug between Claire and.
Well, I don't think they're at that part. That's why I'm telling you there was too much division. There was too much cutting up of that. It was basically like, yeah, Murtaugh, I killed Dougal. Really? No surprise there. Okay, here's the deed of transfer. Fergus, you're gonna have to deliver it to Jenny. So, Roger, what do you want to do? Like, it was that quick, and I just was like, I wished that there was more meat in each back and forth. At times, that was one of them.
Make sure you alert me to the F word fest because I have things to say about that.
Okay, so I think this is it. Actually, yes, this is it. So we're back in the present. Bree doesn't believe Claire. I just have written down, shut up, Bree. And I think this was it when she was like being, you know, when you F daddy, whatever, or you like, or F your dude or whatever. I had a question, a discussion point. Is Bree really channeling Jamie? I don't really see him when I look at her. I wonder if the height thing screws things up. That's what I had written down.
First of all, I'm, and this is where I was saying in the beginning that I don't want anyone getting mad at me. I make a lot of like exceptions. Like I'm like, okay, they had to do this. It doesn't matter what color the eyes are. It doesn't matter. It took me a long time to get over Claire not having those soulful brown eyes like Bree's, because it's just in the book. If you read the books, they're constantly talking about her brown eyes. I want to say chocolate brown, but her brown eyes and being very deep and soulful and blah, 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 blah. So I got over that. And now their kid has brown eyes. And you've got Jamie and Claire with these bright crystal blue eyes that are so transparent.
Is that even possible? Like, remember when you would do the DNA, like little boxy things,
Yes,
in biology?
I was sitting there thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm sure it's possible, but it's certainly not probable.
Like, which is I think the blue eye is the recessive, so it probably is possible.
The bottom line is, I mean, yes, brown eyes are always going to be more dominant, but at the same time, like when they both have those light blue crystal eyes, but then again, maybe Ellen had darker eyes.
I don't know. The height thing is weird to me, though, because I always in my mind pictured Bree really towering over.
She towered over Claire.
You know, whatever. For Claire to be taller than Bree makes it harder for me to picture Jamie as Bree.
It's confusing to your mind.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Look, you guys, when you read 8 books of the Outlander series, you know, you get used to certain things. Right. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. But what did you want to talk about with the effing? Because I think that's there.
I thought it was cheesy as hell and not necessary. I'm sorry. I thought it was stupid. You, him. And she's like, it wasn't just fucking. It was, I thought it was so stupid. I was like, oh no, not necessary.
I have to say there was a point earlier where I was surprised she didn't say the F word. And at one point I was like I forgot I was watching cable. And it was like, oh, well, that's why, you know, because it's like network broadcasting. Or
I forgot when she said it. When Bree said it, I was like, oh, and then I went, oh, wait, okay, this is Starz. It's okay. But honestly, I'm also not a big fan of the F word as a verb. So maybe that's why, you know.
Is it like the word moist?
That's a different story. But I seriously, when it comes to, I don't mind it if it's like, you know, if somebody feels that like their grade really sucked and they were like, oh, that teacher really me. I don't mind it like that. I really mind it like as a sexual verb.
The actual like meaning. Like
it bothers me. I just
also doesn't like the word crust, you guys. So
I feel like
as often as possible.
That's like 6th grade stuff though. I just feel like it's low class. I feel like they didn't need to. And Claire didn't need to rise to the occasion or lower herself to the occasion.
Right. Okay.
And repeat it.
Okay. Okay, back to the past. This is the longest episode ever. And it really is.
We really are going to have to pause any second.
Okay, no. Power through.
All right, so Fergus does his job.
Fergus. Wait, I lost my place. Hold on. Oh, this is where they tell him that they love Fergus like a son.
Oh, God, it's awesome.
Okay. Again, like a top 5 moment in this episode is where Fergus looks at Murtaugh, and Murtaugh looks at Fergus, and Murtaugh just does this little bowy thing to Fergus.
Yeah.
And then again, we're back.
Yeah, that wasn't just a head nod. That was a bow.
That was
like
so
a namaste bow.
So almost. Great. So Fergus goes off with the deed of sale or whatever it is.
But what did you think of that? Did it bother you at all? Like, I was kind of like, Fergus is from France. Is he going to be able to find his way back by himself?
He's crafty, that Fergus. He'll do it. He'll be fine. That's what Jamie knows. Jamie knows. Like, Fergus has gotten out of worse than this. It's all good. All I have for what's next is Roger and Bree are in a bar. Blah, blah, blah. Kvetch.
I was so jealous.
At this point, I'm just like, ugh. I'm loving Roger, but like the two of them, like just go away. Like I'm done. Oh God, I can't take any more Roger and Bree.
How did you like? Oh hey Jillian, what up, girl?
I know, right? Oh yeah, that was great. Well, wait, but first we have to go to Claire. She finds the Gillis pamphlet. She opens the pamphlet. The pamphlet picture of her inside is hilarious.
It's like a headshot, only.
Well, you know what it is? It's one of those, like, this is awful, and I might cut it, but, you know, have you ever seen one of those, like, things about, like, I'm pregnant, and I don't know what to do? Like, on the subway. On the subway, they have ads for, like, call, 800, like, blah, 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 if you, like, are pregnant and don't know what to do. And the picture is always, like, somebody, like, I mean, I have to probably stand up to do it. Like That's what it looked like.
I'm
was
seeing
so
it
cracking
because
up.
all right, hang on a minute because
Wait. No. That was the one on the back. You have to go to the one on the inside of the folder.
because the one on the back is reminding me of I went to DeVry.
Oh my god. Okay. So Claire goes to see Gillis. She meets up with Greg the hubby. Gillis is gone. She's left. And so Claire's like, yeah, he's passed out. I'm taking all these books with me. So she takes all the
Claire was like this. What's that, Big Bird?
weird witchy books. So then is when Bree and Roger run into Gillis in the bar. Hey, what up, Gillis? Or whatever the hell your name is.
She's like, I won't be here tomorrow.
She's going away tonight. That's what's going on. So Claire reads all the books, and Claire utters, "Yes, that's it."
It's totally like I'm pregnant. Oh my god! Oh my god!
And I don't know what to do.
Oh my god!
So.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So wait, so Claire reads the books and Claire says those 5 words that she utters in every episode at least once. I've got to stop her.
I just love the book theft. That was awesome.
Okay, we're back in the past, which is all that really matters at this point because I'm so sick of the present I can't even stand it. Jamie tells Murtaugh, take the Lollybrock man home. Murtaugh's like, yeah, I'll see them to the road, then I'm coming back because you're not fighting alone. I will die with you. And Murtaugh just warms the cockles of my heart. And he's so great, and I love him so. So, Murtaugh's great, whatever. Okay, we're back in the present.
Murtaugh's great, whatever.
So Bree comes back from the bar, probably all loaded, whatever. And she's all like, okay, I don't want to talk about your time travel delusions, Mom. But, okay, you can tell me about this guy, Jamie, this dude, Jamie. I was just like, Claire, why don't you tell her to shut the fuck up? Sorry, folks, but, like, this is, like, classic Bree as a brat. It's like, I don't want to hear about your time travel delusions. But, okay, if you want to tell me a little bit about this guy, I get it. It's like, no, I don't want to tell you a effing thing. Go to bed. Like, seriously, was Tom, like, livid at that?
I don't know, but I don't know. I guess I kind of felt like I could understand how she's not believing this and like, what the hell?
I don't know. I thought it was bratty. Like, you know, it's your mother. Like behave. Treat your mother nicer. Especially if she, you know, if you feel she needs to go into the psycho ward, well, then all the more, you know, reason to treat her nice. Okay. So Claire, all right, Claire, so I guess they talk a little, they must talk a little bit, but then Claire goes to talk to Roger. She finds out that Gillis is going to go through tonight.
Chapstick.
Bree comes back. Oh, so Claire's all like, okay, Roger, here's the deal. If I stop Gillis from crossing through, you might never be born because
I thought that was awesome.
Because you know, she's your like great
All right. 7 times.
And Roger's like, what do you think this is? Back to the Future? Like,
yes.
No, I'm here, duh. Like,
yeah.
What?
I love that. I was like the only one with sense, including us. All these books I've read, and we're always like, wait. And I'm like, Roger comes along and he's like, duh, I'm standing here.
By this point, I am loving the shit out of Roger.
Yes.
I love him. He's so great.
Yep.
Okay. Past. Now we get to the goods, y'all. So Jamie is like literally dragging Claire by the hand. Like, I'm getting you out of here. I'm getting you out of here. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. Why do I have to go anywhere? Like, you know, if I had been tossed in the fire to Gillis, with Gillis, would you have left me? He's like, no, but I wasn't carrying your child. Boom, mic drop. So now I gotta ask you, as a book reader, how did you feel about this scene in general? Did you like it? Did you?
We all felt gypped as a mofo because we didn't get an entire evening at the cabin.
All right, just as a preface, and like even non-book readers might even know this. Like in the book, like they go. First of all, it doesn't take like a half hour to get to Craig and Dune. It takes a while. So, and I think Jamie asked for like 2 days, or 1 day or whatever. I'll be back tomorrow, whatever. But
it was the day before, yeah.
Yeah, they have a whole night alone at Craig and Dune.
Right.
So all this stuff happens over the course of a night. I wish there was happen somewhere quieter. Like it was really distracting to have them like walking past like dudes running and dudes walking
Tracy,
and horses.
You don't have to tell me. That's my favorite part of the whole freaking book.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, I thought, I cried at that point. I really did. Really did. It was a sob moment for me.
And
but it was just.
Didn't you kind of feel like, we've had 13 episodes and this is 90 minutes and you can't fit it in? But once again, we're also accustomed to saying, well, it doesn't come across the same way on TV that it does in the, you know what I mean? I felt like you could have taken 5 minutes, but still made us think that they were in this cabin for.
I don't think they needed to be in a cabin. I do think they needed to be by themselves.
Maybe the fact that maybe they really wanted to get across that rushed feeling. And the only way to do it visually is to do it quick and know, they've been here for... Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about in the book, they go like the night before and they spend an entire evening in this cottage and it's lots of man-woman loving. And it's beautiful, and they have a lot of discussion. A lot of the discussion they had here, they have, in the cottage. I think maybe visually and auditorily, like they are trying to make us realize it's quick. They figure we're not going to get that feeling of. In the book, you have the luxury of, you know what I mean.
Right, there's just more time.
But. Did you notice an absence of, what are they called? Oh, yeah, redcoats.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that at the end.
In the book, the redcoats come and Jamie says, run. And that's, how many times have I told you, my dream of having the song Run from Snow Patrol playing while she's running up that hill in slow-mo.
There was much more urgency for her to get to the stones and get the hell out of Dodge.
Yes, and the only way for them to get the urgency across to us, the viewer, was to skip it and just do it fast.
Right. So I mean, the speed didn't even bother me, but I just was distracted by all the people around, and I kind of wished that moment of like, because I know you're pregnant.
Yes.
Was done in a more private, focused way.
Yes. Well, this was what I was saying in the beginning when I said to you, there's something that did bother me when we were texting earlier and you were like, well, it obviously wasn't the same thing. What bothered me was that I felt like we never really missed Jamie. Like Jamie's, he shoves her through the stones and then seconds later, practically, she's all, I have to go back. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, in the book,
you spend the whole book.
It's not they didn't, you have that feeling in the whole book. And I guess they've tried, because the very beginning, she's back to Frank. And then that little portion where she's with little Bree, who's like 9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they tried, but I think that they really didn't get across that yearning and that sick feeling that made me cry my eyes out to you at the end of this book for an hour. You know what I mean? Which was, Jamie's gone. All I can think of, he's gone from Bruno.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone mentally. He's gone physically. He's gone time period wise. As you said to me in the very beginning of this book, when I was reading and I called you and you said, Carol, he's been dead since the first page of the book. And I went, you're right. He was dead when the book started because it's in the 1900s and not the 1700s. So, but that hideous feeling that you have, like a lump in your throat, where is Jamie Fraser? Where in the world is Jamie Fraser? You don't get that because he pushes her through, and then, you go through a little tiny bit, and then she's like, then we find out Jamie didn't die. So I felt I felt bad for the viewers who hadn't read the books, that they don't get to go through that mourning.
Right. This is something where I would definitely read the books, because the books, the books just expand on everything. And I mean, I thought overall, that last, we're sort of skipping over the Gila stuff, but whatever. I'll just quickly get to, let me quickly get that out of the way. They go to the present. It's Craig and Dune. Gillis is cooking up the hubby.
On the barbecue.
Goes to the Stones. Bree and Roger can both hear the Stones. It's all creepy. So then we get to the past again. So let's just talk through this whole end. I will say this. I understand why the TV version of this show, of this story, cannot do an entire evening and morning at the cottage. I get it. There's just no way. It's
right.
I get it.
It would be boring.
It probably would be. That said, like I said, I would rather that I feel like that because I was not carrying your child was sort of said in amongst everything else. I feel that needs to be more of a dun 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 moment.
Right, but how did you feel?
We're not thinking at that point, I don't know about you, I've completely forgotten that Claire was pregnant, when she got back. So it's kind of almost as a new surprise. Right,
but I think that the audience, the viewers, especially the non-book reading viewers, they remembered that the whole time because they knew that when she got back, she was pregnant.
I mean, yes, but... And I knew that too, but I forgot it at that point.
Right.
It was just too much crap going on around them, to make me really be able to focus on this big moment.
Right. But
what did you think of once they got up to the Stones?
I think that I have to tell the non-book reading audience that you were gypped. Because, again, I get it. It wouldn't come through, whatever. But one of my favorite parts in the book is that at the end of the cottage, when the redcoats are friggin' coming at them, and he picks her up, and that's against the wall, the last minute sex. And that's
Go ahead.
That's the second time, because the night before.
Well, it's probably the 17th time. But
right, true. I was going to say that. But it's the second time. So in the show, it didn't translate as well, because it was kind of I'm going to do you real quick.
I have to read you something, okay? I have to read you something from the book. And I need my reading glasses, so sorry, you guys.
Why are you apologizing because you need your reading glasses, which are a little big on you?
These are, I don't even remember if they Costco glasses or what. I get them in packs of 3 or 5 at Costco.
They're very wide.
Hold on a minute.
Is this about the stand-up sex?
No, this is something. that I've been meaning to tweet for a million years, and I just haven't gotten time to do it. So, in the book, and this isn't really a spoiler or anything, in this whole night at the cottage, at one point, Claire says to Jamie, and I knew this wasn't going to happen, but it's still one of my favorite parts. She's like, Jamie, she asked Jamie to cut her, to
Oh my God,
right?
I forgot.
Because she wants a sign of him. She wants something on her body to
They cut it out.
Yeah,
out.
and I knew. Well, we talked about this when we were on Outlander, I think, at some point, that that's something that I love, and we were just like, it's never going to be on, and I knew it, whatever. But so Jamie cuts a little C in Claire or a J in Jamie's hand, in Claire's hand, and then Claire cuts a little C in Jamie's hand. And they have those scars for the rest of the series. But I want to read to you the actual part, okay? Are we ready?
Can I handle this?
Yes, you can handle it. And this is from Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. I don't remember the copyright, but you guys can look it up. Okay. A wave of anguish broke over me, so acute that I must have made it some sound, for he opened his eyes. He smiled when he saw me, and his eyes searched my face. I knew that he was memorizing my features, as I was his. Jamie, I said. My voice was hoarse with sleep and swallowed tears. Jamie, I want you to mark me.
Are you kidding?
I swear to effing God.
Mark me. Oh boy, I never realized that.
God. Wait. I want you to mark me. What? He said, startled, because, he didn't expect number 17. Cut me. She said, cut me, Nick. And she said, cut me, Mick. And he said urgently, deep enough to leave a scar. So, yes. So, Claire gets the number 17, mark me.
Mark me.
Oh my God, we need to move this along. We're at 2 hours. Okay. So what else? In general, I liked, I thought for what they were able to do, they did it really well. I thought that when Sam was like, tell him I hate him to the very marrow of my bone, so great.
Oh my God.
Sam Heughan, if you're watching this.
Oh my God.
The right twinkle in your eye. I have to say, so great.
And I have to give the two of them such kudos. I have to say that Caitriona, for the first time in this series, I'm not saying she hasn't been awesome in other parts. She finally really made me believe that she is absolutely beyond smitten with this individual. There's been times in the series, and it's not Caitriona's fault, but there's just times in the series where I'm like, well, geez, does she even love this guy? You know what I mean? This, you could feel it in your core that she was just ill, emotionally, physically, that she had to leave him. And it was the first time that you could see. And I'm going to tell you right now, third sister Jill has said this before about season 1. She has not yet seen season 2, but she said, I always feel like he loves her more than she loves him. Well, this scene, it's like she's crazy with it. She's nuts over having to leave him. And he's keeping up a brave face.
Right. He's very sort of smiley and sort
of
brave.
You're going to do this. And then takes her hands and puts them. Yes. And she's losing her ever-loving mind, which wouldn't you if you had to leave?
I know, right.
Okay, but oh God.
I have one thing that I found odd about this scene. Okay, So they're like, so they do it on the ground. It's all good, whatever. They get up.
That was kind of like a wham bam.
That was like, you guys, that was like the writer's room. You guys, if they don't have sex here, people are just going to be really like they're like, forget it. They're going to be
But it was
coming at us
kind of like
with pitchforks and torches.
it was kind of like
do it right on the stone. Do it on the stones. It's all kinky and shit.
Do the Humpty Hump.
But so okay, they get up and they don't just like walk over to the stones. They do what I can only say is like the Mary Tyler Moore finale move. I didn't quite get that. Like, I was like, are they like trying to dance over there? Or are they
I'm watching it because I gotta see. And he gave her the ring. And he wanted her to take the ring. All right, we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, no, she gave him the amber, he took the ring, and that's the ring that we see at the beginning of the season.
You're talking about.
I was just like, why are you like shuffling over for the Kleenex? Like, I don't quite get it.
They're like jitterbugging over the stone. I didn't notice that.
I totally noticed it. I was like, this is weirding me out. This is killing my buzz, you guys.
Dear Emmy dudes, Sam frickin' Heughan, man.
So great.
This scene is the best I've ever seen him.
So great. With the like, we'll talk about Purgatory. Like, I mean, like, the whole Purgatory speech. Like, he's really great. He was really great.
He's crying in his eyes, the way he like bores into her. Like, it's just.
All right, we're almost at the end.
Okay, wait. I have something to say really quick that I wasn't reading. See, I do have notes. One thing about Culloden I just want to mention really quick. I say the wind and the dark. It's so dark and windy, and the impending doom was so well brought across. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
I thought so.
Culloden, you could feel the British coming. You could
hear them because the cannon started like.
No, not that. Just the fact that it was windy and dark, and it was, to me, it was like death right there. We were looking at it. And the last thing that I have to say, I guess it was about Culloden, because I'm looking at the rest of this and I'm not seeing it. Oh, no. It might be the stones. I just have the Cherry Outsiders backdrop. Like, do you remember that scene in The Outsiders when like Cherry went to meet with Ponyboy and there were cars parked, but it was like dark and up on the hill?
I'm not trying to give you charity. I liked you from the start. I wasn't trying to give you charity.
I liked you from the start. Honest to God, at one point, I don't know if I was talking about. Oh God, I have one more thing to say. All right.
Can we? All right. From this part, from the past, still.
So when Claire looks at the stones.
Oh, we didn't even get to the part where like he puts her hand on it. Like, that was great.
But when Claire looks at the stones when she's talking to Bree and Roger. And Bree's finally like, oh, shiz, you were telling the truth. And she's standing there and she's all like, which P.S. Bree, I'm sorry, there are times when I'm like, Bree looks like she should be in Orange is the New Black. But honest to God, like Claire, all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like dark. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, the sun's
I know. My God, yes. Roger's like, okay, I went and called for help. And it was like, okay, it was pitch black, when he left. And, and like, 1 o'clock in the morning, and now it's like light out. But like, I know it's Scotland, like where like it probably is like dark, light pretty early in the morning, but still, come on.
Right.
Roger, where the hell did you have to go for help?
Right. He comes back and says that. And he's like, and Claire's like, he's alive. But then all of a sudden this light, it's not even like the sun's, it's like this light just like comes out of the stone. I don't know. I was like, was this like a Ron Moore like sci-fi move? You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't really notice that. I thought it was very well. I mean,
It went from being dark with a little bit of light on the horizon to like sunny
yes,
day.
agreed.
And I was like, what the hell's up with this?
This was the last part, and it's the present day, and we find out that Jamie did not die Culloden. And Claire was like, I have to go back.
Yeah. But all I could think of was, you could have searched this 20 years ago.
I know. Well, that's a whole other show to like debate.
Well, that's not the show. That's the book. That's the
Right.
story. But like, that's always been my complaint. And I did blog about that because I was always like, if that was me and I came through, I would have had to immediately have found out what the hell happened to him.
But she took Mrs. Crook's advice, or whoever it was. And it wasn't Mrs. Crook. It was Mrs. Mother of Fiona, the psycho.
Not grandmother, not Mrs.
Grandmother.
It's Mrs.
And she was
Graham.
like, the past is the past.
Graham.
The past is the past. Leave it in the past. Graham. Mrs. Graham was like, the past is the past. Look forward. Don't look back. Don't let the ghosts, F with your mind. So I thought it was a great end shot where they like sort of jammed the camera in the stones and boom.
Well, it was just like, Jamie is in the stones. Walk toward the light, Carol Ann. Walk toward the light.
Walk toward the stones. There's peace and serenity in the stones. And that's it, you guys.
But then it hit me as the camera is going toward the stone. And I'm thinking, dear mother of God, we have like a year. Like, when is this coming back?
I would say, I know there are many that think different. I'm thinking April.
April. It's always April.
I'm thinking they're locking that you gotta lock that. You can't be like having your show run all over the place time wise.
Right.
Locking your date,
because Black Sails will be after Christmas.
Now I will say this though, and this is a good argument against it, that do you want to run up against the last or second to last penultimate season of Game of Thrones? Because don't forget, Starz is moving to Sunday nights, and may I just interject, thank the effing Lord, because I'm sorry, I'm out most Saturday nights. I'm including like this Saturday, i.e. yesterday or whenever this actually goes up. We'll talk that.
Thought that I wasn't going to be around to tweet it, but I might. But the thing is I don't know if I can sit through this again. It was so emotional for me that I just don't know if I can do it.
I'm going to be at the Green River Festival in Massachusetts. If you guys are watching, which you won't be because I won't have this up till Sunday. So I was there, and if I end up tweeting anything, it will be from there. And I don't even think I'm going to be home for the midnight show. So.
Honest to God, I don't think it's not funny. I can't. Like, I'm usually kind of like not snarky, but just silly.
Carol, come on. Any Bree stuff in this episode, we could have a field day with.
Oh, I think I'll go for a walk outside now.
Between that and the Barbra Streisand wig, son, don't tell me not to go. I simply got to. You don't know Funny Girl, do you?
Yeah.
I've got to do.
Yeah, you're right. It's more Funny Girl than it is. What was the one I said?
The Way We Were.
The Way We Were, yeah. No, it's more Funny Girl.
Okay. So that's it, you guys. That's the show. That's the season. We're putting a bow on it. Boom.
Oh no, it is The Way We Were.
We're at 2 hours and 13 minutes right
Done.
now.
I need to go to bed. It's
I need
midnight.
to go to bed too. It is almost midnight. I am thinking to myself, except I'm not because I'm about to say it out loud, that we need to do another show before we really, really, really put a wrap on the season. So Carol and I will talk amongst ourselves about what to do with that. We've talked some about like experimenting with something live, maybe the Google Hangout dealy where like people give us questions on Twitter or whatever and we answer them. or some sort of like wrap up of the season and what we thought and what we liked and what we didn't like. And then during Droughtlander, like, you know, just like once in a while, just like, I don't know. I mean, I sometimes cut a lot of stuff that Carol and I talk about because those videos are so freaking long. But like, just, you know, us talking about like things that we're into or we're watching or, you know, whatever.
Turn.
I'm going to start watching Turn and you're going to start watching Gilmore Girls, right?
I totally were. Blah, blah, blah. Carrie said she watches Gilmore Girls.
Keelan would like Gilmore Girls.
Well, that's what she said, that she watches with her daughter. So maybe I'll have to watch. Wow, I now here I am looking up The Way We Were, and I just came across a picture where who like the
corners of a mouth. Oh shit! Oh, I didn't spill it. I knew I was going to spill that wine bottle. Don't spill the wine.
I was like, is she not recording anymore? Whoever thought Barbra Streisand would look better than Robert Redford?
I know, right?
Holy cow!
Okay, all right. Do we have any spoilers? No, we don't have any spoilers. We'll do. This isn't it for the season. I think we have one more in us. We have one more in us.
Yeah, whatever. I did have a spoiler that I didn't want to say, but I'm just so tired.
We'll do one more. If it's not next week, it's the week after.
Tracy, we should do one together when you're here and we sit at the pool.
I might take a day off just to do it because I just feel like taking a day off.
We'll go sit out. I'll have to put my hair back because the humidity, and we'll sit out at the pool like that funny one we did a couple years back.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk in a couple weeks.
All right.
That'll be good. All right, you guys. Thanks for sticking with us if you did through this whole time. And we will see you soon. It's not goodbye because we're like Clara. We don't say goodbye. We just say
No.
We just say look for us on the blog and Facebook and Twitter and blah 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 blah.
MyOutlanderPurgatory.com, and not only that, but at some point I'm going to start beefing up mypurgatory.com. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, you guys, if you're not following My Purgatory, you need to because there may be some interesting stuff happening there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do some interim stuff.
We'll just chat about what we want to do and shit like that. So, mypurgatory.com. Purgatory needs to be a bigger world than just Outlander.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Turn.
Gilmore Girls. Okay. We will talk to you guys soon.
Oh, can I just say one more quick thing?
What?
A lot of people are talking. You better get into this. You better get on this. A lot of people are talking. J.J. Field, who plays Major John Andre on Turn, for Lord John.
Uh-huh.
That's all I have to say. Was that a spoiler? Sorry.
I'm talking Jude Law, but, that'll never happen either, but whatever.
Jude Law, isn't he a little old?
I don't care. He's awesome.
How old is Jude Law now?
I don't know, but he's awesome. All right, you guys. We will see you soon. Bye.